Hey Doc, first off, congratulations on 20 years of the Experiment 004. I know that video has been a huge inspiration for many people, including myself.
So this video was big impact for me and a big turning point of my yo-yo style, because I felt big potential of yo-yo after watching this video.
That video did a really good job of just kind of like easing into the community and into the kind of bones of, you know, the yo-yo game that we were kind of crafting back then. I think that it was a really smooth landing.
I was thinking about kind of where I was in the world when I first saw Experiment 4, and these were the yo-yos that I owned. I kind of set them out right over here. That's like all I had.
When I got back into yo-yoing about 12 years ago, everyone was throwing unresponsive, and I knew that like I wanted to kind of pull in some of the style that I remembered back using responsive yo-yos.
In this video, Doc Pop showed us amazing 1A yo-yo style skill. So this was really big impact for me.
The tricks that were done, you know, they were, at the time, they were just saucy enough. You know what I mean? Just bits enough for you to feel good about just the element of it, you know, the ness of each combo.
It was just the first time I saw somebody who was simultaneously as what I thought was as wonderfully dorky as me, but also substantially cooler than me, doing something that I thought kind of unlocked the potential of, of an art form kind of residing within a toy.
Hey, welcome to PopCast, the crowd-sponsored yo-yo show. My name is Dr. Popular. Thanks to all of my sponsors over on patreon.com/DocPop. Huge shout out to Andrew Cassidy and my 55 sponsors I have, which is, I think, a record high for me. 55, that's super awesome. Thank you so much for your support in making these episodes possible. Each month we talk about a yo-yo concept, and sometimes I'm lucky and I get to have special guests, and this time we're gonna do something extra special. We're gonna talk about a 20-year-old video that I made with my pal Glasseye. 20 years ago, I filmed a yo-yo video in Minneapolis, and I sent it to this dude, and he worked magic on it, and it's become one of the most well-known things I've ever done. Brian Cabildo, aka Glasseye, the founder of theglasslab.com. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Doc?
I'm keeping it real, yo. Things are good. I've got a beer in the fridge. It's a Sunday night. We spent all day cleaning. I've been looking forward to this chat for a while. So it was 4/20/2001 was the day that this came out, and when this video goes live, I think it'll be right at 20 years.
Wow.
How does that make you feel? Good? Young?
Not young at all, man. I mean, I tell a lot of the older yo-yoers, I go to yo-yo meets from time to time or contests, and I don't recognize 80% of the people. But that's always great because it's always good to get new blood into the game, and I'm just happy to see the community continuing on.
Yeah, I was in the Midwest. I was in the South and then the Midwest, and then kind of moved up to Minneapolis from St. Louis, lived around, and all of those places were sort of there was this big boom happening in 99, 2000, this huge yo-yo boom. And it sort of felt that even though it was happening everywhere, and if anything, it was happening in Hawaii, and kind of spreading out from there, it seems. But it really felt like the West Coast was the center of it all. It seemed like that's where all eyes were focused on. In particular, the spin docks up in the Bay Area, and your crew, DXL in Los Angeles. Why don't you tell us about DXL?
Okay, well, DXL, it started off as this yo-yo group club that met in Lakewood, California, and we had a lot of kids that came out. A lot of names you might realize if you're older, like Patrick Mitchell, Jason Lee, Felix Evelana, James Lack, and Kalani Bergdorf, and we would get together every week, and like the thing at the time was, I think everybody was doing, is they were watching Citadel's videos from the Spit and Docs meets, you know, because of all of Escolar's trip. Every week we were like, oh, what's Escolar gonna do now? And Jason Lee was one of the kids that could just look at a trick and pick it up and then do his own spin on it right away. So that's kind of what started the whole DXL thing, because you know, we really looked up to the guys at Spin Docs, but we also had a lot of our own talent as well. And I just, you know, thought that we should start sharing all the tricks that Jason and Patrick were doing, and started doing videos.
So you had a yo-yo club. It was doing very successful, and you were cranking out videos, sort of a la Sector Y and Gabe. Like, I think you were kind of like influenced by that, and you know, you had this talent right there happening, and it was a historic time. I think it even felt historic, you know, at the time. It felt like everything's just new, and we got to capture it all. And I guess somewhere along the line, yeah, you know, I was definitely aware of your videos. How did we end up collaborating? Because I have no memory of any of this.
So the cool thing about it is, like, the video kind of seems a little bit set up in the beginning, but literally the first contact I ever had with you was that voicemail that you left me that is on the actual video.
Hey, Glasseye, what's up? This is Dr. Popular, working for your mother. I was just trying to get in touch with you tonight. I got a whole bunch of new tricks I've been working on.
I had one of those old tape voice machines where people leave you voicemails, and so I took the tape and then I ran it into my system and, you know, grabbed the audio, and that's how that all worked out. And then I thought you were so cool the way you were presenting yourself, and you know, you had a definite unique personality, larger than life. So I'm like, oh, we gotta put this and start this off with a video, and you know, I went from there.
And it was different in style than the videos you'd done up until that point. You were like in the lab for like a month at least and making original music and stuff. This was different than most of the stuff you were doing.
You had so much great footage that I just really wanted to do the best I could with it. So I spent a lot of time and just kept redoing stuff until I thought, you know, I had something that was good to put out. So at that time, I was heavily into DJing. I was listening to a lot of DJ Qbert from the Invisible Scratch Pickles. One of my friends was DJ Melody, because we both went to UC Irvine, and he's from Beat Junkies. When I was making the music, I tried mixing my own stuff, doing some, you know, rudimentary scratching, however I could. And I also like to write my own music. So I just wanted to bring it all in. And at that time, if you remember, a lot of the freestyles were heavily like techno, trance music, which was great. But I was like, there's this whole, you know, there's like open your mind, kids, you know, like there's other stuff out there. And I was so passionate about, you know, the hip hop music that I was just like, okay, we got to do it this way and put our own stuff, and hopefully people, you know, like it.
I mean, I'm kind of wondering from a technical standpoint, I feel like it wasn't super easy to edit video, to like capture video, and to like make music. I mean, this was like, you were doing it all on your computer, and it was just kind of an awkward time as I think about this stuff. Like, did you have like some like weird ass audio card that you were like plugging in? I'm trying to envision the technical side of it.
I don't really remember, but most likely it was just a simple Sound Blaster card, if you remember those. I rigged it with like a RCA jack right into the computer. So, I mean, I just did the best I could with whatever hardware we had, you know. It was a different time back then. You don't have everything digitally in front of you now. It's so easy these days. So
were you doing the music production in the video file? Like, were you using a video editor and you just had the snippets there and you scratched onto that, or did you do it separate and then import the audio?
You know what? Now thinking back, what I did have was an old a Roland multi-track. I think it was called the VS8 880 or something like that. But what it was is a digital recorder that you could bring around with you, and you can plug mics and all kinds of audio equipment into it, and you had 8 tracks that you could do everything with. The way I edit videos is very heavily influenced by the music, the soundtrack that's playing in the background.
Intro with a famous break, the Apache break. Better Sleep Through Science is my old company. Experiment.
Hey, Glasseye, what's up? This is Dr. Popular. We're to your mother.
So this is the voicemail. Editing the music by Glasseye.
Working on. You can give me a call at 952. I'll talk to you later.
Word to your mother. All right, a couple scenes from Minneapolis. That's a Duncan parking meteor. That weird shirt I got from Hot Topic with nipples on it. This is a hair growth machine from the Museum of Questionable Medical Devices. And it obviously didn't work.
But it ended up hurting your head, didn't it?
It's a machine that squeezes your head. It's legit dangerous. Little gyroscopic flop, kick us off.
Take it underground.
All right, so this section is the Mall of America. Oh, and the Galactic Butt Hair is actually named after the Invisible Scratch Pickles, label.
Right.
I think.
You know something funny about this footage is you had footage of the elevator going both up and down, but it turned out that for some reason that all the takes that ended up in the cut were all of you going down.
Going up, I was just thinking about what I was going to do next, and then
I guess. So it's kind of cool, you know?
You know what it was? Is gravity was in my favor. If you yo-yo going down in an elevator, you'll get 4 or 5 extra seconds of sleep time. And with these yo-yos, that was a big deal.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is in the Mall of America.
You were using the Viper a lot at the time?
Dude, yeah, I actually have maybe the Viper I was using. No, it's a different one.
Oh, wow.
So I was thinking about this. Vipers were, I don't know why I used them. I mean, I was working for them when we filmed this, but I was using them before that, and that's why I ended up becoming a Henry's Pro. And yeah, right off the bat, one of the things that's worth noting on a Viper is the bearings are so small that if you can, it's adjustable, right? It's an adjustable yo-yo, but you could open it up all the way and it's still super narrow. So I actually would put 2 bearings side by side. Beefcake, yeah. Yeah, so there's legit 2 bearings side by side in there, and there's skinny bearings, and the end result is about the size of a C bearing or slightly larger. And some people thought, oh, that's cool, the gap between the bearings will help center your string. And some people have said that concave bearings kind of came after these. For a while there were bearings that had little grooves in them. Right. And that was never what I was going for. Legit, I just wanted to get my yo-yo open wider. And then you've got a friction sticker on one side, a Duncan friction sticker, and then on this side of this particular one, we took this into an engraving shop in the mall, in the Mall of America, a place that you get trophies engraved. And I was just I want you to just engrave I. So it's just a bunch of I's, just the letter
That's
I,
awesome.
to kind of create a starburst.
Right. Isn't it crazy how back then we had to seriously mod our yo-yos so that we could get them to play how we wanted? These days, you know, take them out of the box and you put a string on it and throw it.
Yeah, and what's funny is people have been watching this video lately, and they've been oh, I didn't know you were using a responsive yo-yo. And for you and I, this would not have been a responsive yo-yo. This was highly unresponsive.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have bind return at the time, but
right.
Yeah, a lot of times you'd throw it and, you'd have a hard time. It would just barely come back up to your hand, and, you consider that a success. But yeah, I guess technically it's a responsive yo-yo. And, you're talking about mods, the yo-yo that I used on this, I don't think was engraved. I think it was a Duncan Fisher sticker on one side, and on the other side I took super glue and put little drips of super glue around the axle, around the bearing, and then I drizzled sand onto the super glue while it was wet. So it was basically little sand starbursts that if you took your fingernail, you could kind of scratch them off the metal if you wanted. But that's what I was doing. It was like legit, like when the string breaks at the end of the video, I think it's literally just sanded.
It looks like it is. It's a
Dr. Popular, word to your mother.
Going underground. So this is an old Mobius trick where the trick is done inside the finger loop. Another Hot Topic sweater. This is an underground aquarium in the Mall of America. And there was like, it was just like this tube, and there was just like kind of a moving floor. So I just put the tripod on there. And just like filmed it in a couple different ways. Like this one, it's coming towards me.
How many times did you have to go through that tunnel?
I'm pretty sure that I nailed everything on the first try. At least that's how I remember it. I'm sure as someone who had to edit it, you're like, no, there was a lot of misses. I just see this and I'm like, yeah, nailed it. Look at that. Loop Diablo, which I also kind of just recently kind of looked into. Apparently I coined...
solid loop?
Yeah, solid loop. Apparently I coined the term. It's like now people call it Loop Diablo. But apparently there was this thing called stickless. And stickless was mostly done with loops. So that existed before this video, apparently. But I think this influenced a new wave of that for jugglers.
That's awesome.
Kind of a Bermuda Triangle combo. Rock the Baby combo. I love the tricks in this tutorial section.
Me too.
And I also love that the tutorial is just me doing it. I don't know necessarily that I'm teaching anything. Like these days, if I like don't have an angle for every single bit of a trick, people are like, what's going on? So the idea people could learn from just like, look, I did the trick once, it's a tutorial.
Right.
I always forget about this trick. This is my sequel to Skin the Gerbil, is the Grand Marquis.
Oh, what is
It's
it?
like a lot of the same elements.
Yeah.
You know, like the side Lindy loop and, you know, going straight in from the trapeze, all alpha style. I love the robot. Boop.
That's one of
Those
my
motions.
favorites.
Another trick I forget about. I thought it was about to bind there. And I'm just repeating the trick. I mean, binds changed everything.
Yeah.
Boop. Broken string. Great ending. Perfect ending. That's so dope. Wow, dude. So was that your first time watching the video in 20 years? Have you seen it throughout the years?
I've watched it a couple of times. Every so often, people will bring up, best all-time videos, and once in a while, this video will get brought up, and it'll remind me, and I'll go, oh, let me go back and watch it, and I'm always so enthralled by that video. So it just, the way it came out, I'm very happy with it. So
it aged well. It was super fun. I think it was like a fortunate timing for both of us. I mean, you must have had the energy and time to put into it. I'm sure you already had like a business and stuff. I'm sure it wasn't easy back then, but like I think for both of us, it was a kind of good timing.
What the funny thing is that we both made that video without having ever met each other in person. So I thought that was, I mean, I'm sure it happens all the time today, but back then, not as often.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of when we would have met. I don't think it was
It'll been at Worlds.
like the following year.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2001 maybe, or the year after.
Well, yeah. So this video, like you said, it gets brought up every now and then for like people's favorite videos, and I think it does age well to the point where sometimes when I'm trying to make new videos, I'm still trying to live out of the shadow. This one video, I'm like, you guys, I'm still making tricks. They're like, oh, Doc's a great old school player, and I'm like, I just made a video that has stuff that you'll be doing in 5 years. Are you still yo-yoing now? Are you still posting videos?
I'm not posting videos. I do yo-yo daily, but it's more of a stress reliever. I was never good at, making my own tricks or competing. I just always loved yo-yoing, I find it a great hobby, and I just still do it every day. As far as videos, not so much. I'm doing the family thing. I'm trying to do a lot of my own music now, and that's about it, really.
Are you releasing music or anything that we can hear online?
This is kind of funny, but one of the guys that, if you guys remember, another old school yo-yoer, is Taylor Whitley.
Mm-hmm.
And he made did he make
Ouijibo.
Ouijibo?
Ouijibo.
Yeah, Taylor is producing music now, and he asked me to do a remix of one of his songs, and that's actually being released next month, at the beginning of April. If you want to check it out, it's Nillin Music, Nillin, and that's what I'm going by. And producing right now. I got an Instagram and just a couple of posts, but it's more for fun and just keeping my skills up to date. I'd like to do that professionally eventually, hopefully. So we'll see.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'll put links to your music and your Instagram in the comments below.
Awesome.
Thanks to everyone for watching. And I think in a separate video, I'll put up a tutorial for the robot. So keep your eye out for that, like a little breakdown to really spell it out for you with all the good angles and stuff that you're looking for. If you are interested in sponsoring the show, check out patreon.com/DocPop to help make it possible. And we do monthly yo-yo hangouts and stuff like that. So check that out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next month.
Since I have watched this video, the Pop is my hero for a long time, and now too, for sure.
Happy anniversary, and I hope everybody gets a chance to watch that clip some more and just truly feel the vibes that it brings.
I've never seen another video like it, and it certainly was the most transformative video that I had seen up to that point. So, very grateful for it, and for you, Doc, and happy birthday, Experiment 4.
So thank you so much and a huge congratulations. And please take good care of yourself.
Again, congratulations, Doc, and can't wait to see what you produce in the next 20 years. All right, see ya.